The Northwest North American Ring of Fire Witches Council, known internally as the NNR WC, existed to monitor instability, not just the instability of the earth beneath their feet, though that alone would have been enough. Rumbling fault lines, subduction zones, volcanic pressure systems, these were familiar but predictable in their own dangerous way. What the Council had not anticipated was how quickly humanity would begin creating new fault lines. Not in stone, in signal. Within the NNRWC, emergency meetings outside the seasonal calendar were rare. Actually, emergency meetings called between sessions were almost unheard of. And yet, the summons had gone out. Deep within a folded alcove of the redwood forest near Eureka, California, the council chambers prepared themselves. Wards adjusted. Thresholds tightened. The chamber became what it had always been, a place where disagreement was allowed, but imbalance was not. Hazel, a witch of the air, strode down the corridor without breaking pace. Her heels struck the ebony floor sharply, the sound echoing just a fraction too long. For most, it was merely irritating. For those attuned to temporal disturbances, it was beyond irritating. The echoes bent, splitting and rejoining, visible as faint distortions rippling in the air behind her. Hazel was annoyed, and she wanted everyone to feel it. A manila folder trailed behind her, not carried, not even held. It bounced behind her like a weightless dog on an invisible leash. It was half dissolved, its edges unraveling into sparks of spell residue, broken sigils, and lines of raw computer code that flickered in and out of coherence. Logic collapsed into symbol degraded into noise. Hazel did not look back. With a casual motion of her hand, the corridor ended. Not abruptly, politely, dissolving into the council chamber as if it had never been intended to extend any farther. The chamber revealed itself slowly, as it always did. An ornate, circular table of petrified wood dominated the space, its surface etched with wards so old they had softened with use. The air itself seemed aware, responsive to tension, but restrained. Seated around the table were the elemental witches of the NNRWC. Fire, restless and sharp-eyed, fingers drumming against the table as if eager for ignition. Earth, composed and immovable, posture steady, gaze weighing consequences rather than possibilities. Water, watching quietly, expression fluid, already feeling the emotional undercurrents before they surfaced. Air, Hazel's seat, still empty. They were the operational core of the council, the ones who handled crises when magic misbehaved in predictable ways. This was not predictable. Conversation cut off the moment Hazel entered. Then, just as simultaneously, the questions began. This meeting was not authorized. Who called it? Why are we convening outside the calendar? Hazel raised one finger. The chamber obeyed. Silence settled instantly, snapping into place like a ward sealing shut. With a flick of her wrist, the floating file shot forward. It landed squarely at the center of the table, then slid across the surface and unfolded on its own. At once, images bloomed in the air. A digital clock flashed erratic timestamps, seconds looping, minutes skipping, hours refusing to align. Water leaned forward slightly. "That's chronomancy," she said softly. Hazel nodded. Unauthorized, uncontained, manifested through a consumer-grade digital clock. The image shifted. Sigils bloomed inside mobile app interfaces, elegant, dangerous, entirely unintended. Spellwork layered into user experience design, reality altered through taps and swipes. Earth frowned. That should not be possible. And yet, Hazel replied, it is. The next image darkened. An espresso machine, warped, overloaded with emotional residue. The aftermath was implied rather than shown. Water inhaled sharply. "A death?" she asked. "Yes," Hazel said. "A young witch, unstable, unsupported. The machine became an amplifier." Fire's fingers stilled. "That's 3 incidents." Hazel tapped the file again. The final image appeared. Old computer code, crude by modern standards, dense with inefficiencies, wrapped tightly around something watching back. Something patient, something aware. This entity, Hazel said, was bound sometime in the late 1990s. Improperly. The bindings are degrading. Earth's jaw tightened. Why are we only now learning of this? Because it was forgotten, Hazel said flatly. And it has begun to remember itself. The chamber dimmed slightly, then Hazel exhaled once. And then, she said, there is Las Vegas. The image shifted again. A cell tower in northern Las Vegas. Violet and neon blue threads tearing themselves into the night air. A surge uncontrolled, unstable, visible for miles. Fire leaned forward now. That should have triggered half a dozen safeguards. It didn't, Hazel said. Because it wasn't recognized as a threat until after the fact. Water tilted her head. The witch? Young, recently awakened, overwhelmed. And yet, Earth said slowly, the incident de-escalated. Hazel nodded. She was not alone for long. Another image appeared. A second witch. Older, calmer, observing rather than reacting. She intervened, Hazel said, not by suppressing the magic, by guiding it. Fire scoffed. Mentorship instead of containment? Yes. And she reported nothing, Earth added. Yes, Hazel said again. Because she understood the situation did not require punishment. The chamber was very quiet now. This is not a single failure, Earth said at last. It is a pattern of escalation, Water agreed. Emotion, technology, amplification. Fire leaned back. So we handle it. Hazel's gaze sharpened. No, she said, we understand it. Fire's eyes flashed. Understanding comes after control. Hazel shook her head once. That thinking is outdated. Technology is no longer inert. It absorbs, it reflects, it remembers. She gestured to the file. These incidents span decades. The tools change, the pattern does not. Earth folded her hands. The High Council is aware. That landed heavily. In Wales? Water asked. Yes, Earth replied. They have tasked us with handling the issue. Hazel laughed once, sharp, humorless. Handling, she repeated, as if this were a wildfire or a flood. Fire bristled. Those are my domains. And this, Hazel said, is becoming mine. Hazel straightened. There is a witch, she said. An eclectic. Fire frowned. Eclectics complicate matters. They adapt, Hazel countered. She has lived through electricity, telephones, computers, the internet, cellular networks. She does not fear technology because she does not mythologize it. Water's eyes softened. She listens. Earth considered. She de-escalated Las Vegas. Yes, Hazel said, without instruction, without authority, and without causing further imbalance. Fire exhaled slowly. You want to summon her? Hazel nodded. Her name, Hazel said, is Helena Darcel. The chamber held its breath. Earth spoke first. Summoning her will set precedent. Yes, Hazel agreed. So will ignoring what's coming. Water nodded once. I support the summons. Fire hesitated, then inclined her head. On a provisional basis, Earth closed her eyes briefly, then opened them. So decided, she said. The wards along the table flared softly. Hazel allowed herself a single, quiet smile. Far from the redwoods, in a city built on illusion and light, something was already shifting. The council had made its decision. The world, as always, was moving faster.
If you liked this story, please support my channel. like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when a new story materializes.